You've completed...
Yes?
Okay, the processing fee...
2 million?
That's right. 1 million per applicant.
Paimon wasn't so much questioning your...
Ah, Mr. Toma, it's you. By way of courtesy, allow me to reduce it to 400,000 mora total.
Thank you, but as this is just a processing fee,
That's not how you haggle!
All right then, as you wish, Miss...
Much...
What? She went from 2 million down to 600?
It's not as mind... The way some here at the agency see it, the fees are easy money. So when the day comes that some poor...
Then they'll milk them for all their...
Exactly. It's at times like this that having a local friend really comes in handy. Yes, but when you're an outlander in Inazuma, far from home in this closed nation era, there's very little that can be done about it. The most that overseas merchants can do to look after themselves is stick together. That's how the International Trade Association came about.
So it's a trade association built by and for Outlanders?
Yep. And as well as advancing commercial interests, the association provides help, support, and structure for Outlanders trying to survive on Rito. Essentially, it's an association devoted to both commercial excellence and survival skills.
Sounds like just staying alive is an achievement when you're an Outlander in Inazuma.
I see. So this is the real purpose of your trip. Yes, given that you are Outlanders, it's certainly a lofty aspiration. After all, the Raiden Shogun is the most exalted and revered one in all of Inazuma. She is a deity who reigns on high, while all other life gazes up in awe. Huh. I was going to say nothing is set in stone when it comes to who you will encounter in this world. Who's to say you won't happen to run into the Raiden Shogun one day after lunch?
Uh-huh. And is that likely?
Okay, I'll give it to you straight. I know of a way to introduce you to the Raiden Shogun.
Really? Wow! The Rito Fixer is better connected than we thought.
I mean, it will take all the resources I have at my disposal, but it can be done. However, before we get there, connections come at a high price, you understand?
Not you too!
No. In this instance, when I say price, I'm not talking about Mora. In fact, there's no real cost as such. It's just that if this is something you really want, you'll have to agree to help other people solve some of their problems first. I like to do things in a way that keeps everybody happy. It's my own personal rule for dealing with situations like this.
Sounds very reasonable to Paimon. You're the man in the middle, so you have to trade favors to keep everyone indebted to you.
Why do I get the feeling you're making me out to be some sort of crook? Never mind. Here's the situation. As I touched upon earlier, the members of the International Trade Association are constantly struggling to survive. Recently, things seem to have gotten more difficult than ever for them, so just go and check things out. See if there's any way you can help. The head of the association is called Carisio, and he's a good friend of mine. Go talk to him. I'll wait for you here.
Huh? Hello there. You must be seeking refuge with the International Trade Association. The Outlander Affairs Agency took you for all you're worth, I suppose. Ah, good. That's a relief. You need to be careful, or you'll find yourself losing your savings all at once.
Association has been having some difficulties lately. Is that true?
Yes. Left, right, and center. Obstacles at every turn. But that's nothing new for us.
The Sakoku decree certainly makes things difficult for anyone who wants to come here from overseas.
But it's not the root cause of our woes. The Sakoku decree might restrict our scope of activity, but in and of itself, it doesn't stop us from being able to enjoy a comfortable existence. No. What's really squeezing us Outlander merchants dry is those Mora grubbers from the Kanjo Commission.
Oh, of the 3 commissions, that's the one that oversees everything on Rito, isn't it?
That's right. They impose astronomical tax rate, unbelievable regulations, and that's not the worst of it. They just issued a new tax decree recently that, for some reason, completely changes the way we pay our taxes. It used to be Mora, but now it's something called Crystal Marrow.
Crystal Marrow? What's that?
Something that most of us in the association had never heard of before either, until the new decree came along. Eventually, one of the older Liyue merchants recalled that he once shipped a batch of it to Snezhnaya in his youth. So, in order to pay our taxes, we began an arduous search for this crystal marrow. But then we found we'd only managed to create a bigger problem for ourselves. The rising demand for crystal marrow drove the price higher and higher. Now there's only one vendor who even has it in stock. We can't get a hold of it anywhere else.
Isn't that what they...
Exactly. So this vendor keeps pushing the price up, and we have no choice but to buy from them because the tax decree forces us to. It's a vicious cycle. The consequence of which is that our taxes will soon exceed our profits. And once that happens... We've tried communicating with the Commission directly, but this is a nation where the cries of a few struggling merchants will never be heard over the ever-present roar of thunder. Fontaine, my dear homeland. I miss you an awful lot at the moment.
Sounds awful. They're really bleeding them dry. What do you think we should do?
That vendor... I've actually done business with him in the past, but after a point he stopped contacting us. I have no idea where he sources the stuff.
Well, it definitely sounds like he's being unfair. How do we find him? We could go talk to him and see if he lets anything slip.
Hey, that's a pretty good idea. Since you're not affiliated with the association and you're new to Rito, you may just let his guard down. If I remember correctly, our usual meeting point with him is under a tree by the coast in the residential district. See if you can find him there.
Got it! We're on the case!
I don't think I recognize you. Are you new arrivals? So, what do you need with me? The sheer nerve. You don't go around asking questions like that. If I gave you my sources, I might as well hand you the whole darn business. Trade secret. Got it? You know what trade and secret mean, right?
This guy's got a bad attitude.
Are you even buying? Oh, I see what's going on here. Karisu and his associates sent you here to try and plead their case, didn't they? They're wasting their time. The price is non-negotiable, not by a single Mora.
Hey, what's your problem?
Get out of here, go on. Tell them they're lucky to be buying from me in the first place, and they ought to be more grateful. If it weren't for me, they'd be in seriously hot water.
What are we gonna do? There's no talking to this guy. Good idea. Let's check back in with him.
I'm the only lifeline they've got. How dare they try and bargain with me?
This is the Outlander Affairs Agency. Please have your documents and proof of identification. Why in the world can't I use my permit?
That was quick. You resolved it already?
Uh,
No? Well, by all means, tell me what you need. I'll help as much as I can. Getting you to go fixing things when you've only just arrived is quite a demand. Oh, that guy? I'm familiar. He used to be a bit of a sorry sight, selling shells that he'd collect on the beach just to get by, but he seems to have suddenly shot up in the world recently. I can only assume he must have found himself a patron after leaving the International Trade Association.
huh. You're saying he used to be a member of the International Trade Association? So he's an Outlander too?
Yes. Couldn't you tell when you spoke to him? That's right. Werner was born in Mondstadt, then went into the shipping business, trading between Leah and Inazuma. When Inazuma closed to the outside world, he was one of a group of Outlanders that ended up stranded on Rito.
Huh. What a bummer.
The International Trade Association was initially very generous to him, but over time, with decree after decree, the association members found it increasingly difficult to make ends meet.
So he left the association and turned his back on them.
I'm sure it's more nuanced than that. I believe even the most ungrateful and cold-hearted of people still have some amount of gratitude and warmth left in them somewhere.
Really? Is that all you need to know?
Well then, it sounds like you may have found a way in with him.